Hello everybody, it's Numerologist Michelle Buchanan with your numerology forecast for October 2022. We are now officially in the final quarter of the year. How crazy is that? Time definitely, really truly has sped up. And that's because the planet itself is vibrating at a higher, faster frequency. What does that mean for all of us? It means that higher frequency on planet Earth is encouraging each of us individually to step up to the plate and take more responsibility and enabling ourselves to vibrate individually at a higher frequency within ourselves. What does that mean? It means it's time to keep working on those parts of ourselves that we know that we can improve. It's time for us to start focusing on what is good and what is right in life and in ourselves, instead of focusing and dwelling on what's wrong or what is bad. It's a matter of embracing, advancing, amplifying, growing, and really tuning into that spiritual side of ourselves. Everybody's on a different stage of their spiritual journey. Some are on no spiritual journey at all. That's totally fine. It's up to the individual. But what these times are calling from us is for those that are awake, that those that are aware, that those that know that there is something better out there, that knows there's something going on, to take responsibility for our own individual journeys and doing the best that we can to be the best people that we can be, to work on fine-tuning those parts of our human personality that we know need to be improved, and to focus on working with those universal laws that govern us 24/7, whether we believe in them or not, such as the law of attraction, the law of manifestation, the law of cause and effect, where what we believe to be will be, where what we focus our attention on the most, we will attract into our life. So it means being responsible for what we're focusing our attention on the most. Are we focusing mostly on what is good and what is right and what we would rather have? Or are we focusing mostly on what's wrong, what's lacking, what's missing, how unhappy we are? And so, the planet is vibrating at a higher frequency, and that is continuing to climb. It's not slowing down. It's not going to drop. And that means that it just brings all of our own individual stuff to the surface, to be looked at, to be transformed, to be embraced, to be loved, to be released, to be healed, to be improved. And that's not going anywhere either. So you can either face this head on, be proactive, be aware of what your cycles are, which is why and one of the reasons why I'm a numerologist, why I give readings to people and why I do these free monthly forecasts, to give you a bit of insight into what's going on around you so that you can help yourself. Being aware of what's going on in your life and where you're at, so that you can take steps towards improving that, making it the best month it can be, making you be the best you can be. Being more positive, regardless of what's happening on the news, regardless of what's happening in the economy, regardless of what's happening around you and outside of you. It's time to really tune into your inner self, your higher self, the calling of your soul, your connection to all that is, the almighty I am that I am, the mighty I am presence, source energy, God, love, light, universe, whatever you want to call it. The title doesn't matter, but it's time to really, really amplify that connection and make that our priority, because that's the wind beneath our wings. That is the side of ourselves in life that really helps us to catapult our journey of growth, our journey of working with those universal laws. We're only working on 4 cylinders when we have a V8 engine without source energy giving us that extra push, that extra power, that extra positivity, that extra ability to overcome our challenges, to heal quicker, to be more optimistic, more loving, more forgiving, more understanding. And that's why this year has sped by so quickly, and that's not going to slow down. So pay attention to your forecast this month. Do what you can. Get in alignment with whatever, get in alignment with the natural flow of your cycle, of your numerology cycle is leading you in a specific direction. You can be in harmony with that and be more in alignment with that by working in with what I'm about to explain to you is going on for you individually, or you can go rogue, go upstream, go against the grain. That's absolutely fine. There's nothing wrong with that. It just means that you can make your life easier if you go with the flow rather than go against the current. It's up to you though. There's the easy way or the hard way, but there's definitely a way. So let me start by explaining to you how to calculate your personal year number. Many of you have been listening to me for a very long time, and you probably already know your personal year numbers, but for those who don't and are new, I'm going to go through that now. So what we're going to do to calculate your personal year number is we're going to add the day and month of your birth date to number 6. Why number 6? Because 2022 is a 6. It just makes it easier. Another way we could say it is add your day and month of your birth date to 2022. I'm just cutting it down for you, saying add the day and month of your birth date to number 6. So I use the birth date, the 28th of March, as an example. So I would go 2 plus 8 plus 3 plus 6. 2 plus 8 plus 3 plus 6 is 19. The rule of thumb in numerology is keep adding any double numbers together until you eventually get a single number between 1 and 9. And that single number between 1 and 9 is your personal year number for the whole year, from January 1st to December 31st. And that is from January 1st to December 31st, not from birthday to birthday. And the reason it's January 1st to December 31st is because we're asking about the forecast for the year itself, in this case 2022. We are asking the question, how does 2022 or October 2022 influence my life? Well, 2022 itself runs from January 1st to December 31st, and we're asking how it's going to affect our life. And that's why it's from January to December, not birthday to birthday. Other cycles in numerology forecasting, like major life cycles and pinnacles and challenges and essence numbers, they are all birthday to birthday, but not the personal year number. This is from January 1st to December 31st. All right, so one last time, add the day and month of your birth date to number 6. Keep adding any double numbers together until you eventually get a single number between 1 and 9. And that's your personal year number for the whole year. For the whole year until the following year on January 1st when it changes. So, now that you've got your personal year number, let me begin with the forecast for personal year number 1. You guys are in a year of new beginnings. So this whole year for you is about a whole clean slate, a new beginning, a new 9-year cycle. For some people, it's really obvious. There can be like something really new happening, something ending, or things starting and new things happening, a lot of things ending. I'm in a 1 year. I moved cities. I had no idea it was going to happen. I started a new job for 2 days a week in a beautiful crystal store in the city. I'm meeting all these new people and I'm in a new environment. So that's an obvious one personal year in my case. You might have somebody else out there with a 1 year and they're in the same job, the same home, the same relationship, the same town. Everything's the same. And those new beginnings for them might be more internal. So they might be going through a whole new way of seeing the world, a new mindset, a new attitude. You know, it might be a new way of living, a new healthy regime, a new diet, a new way of looking at their life. Everybody's different. Some people can have lots of new things happening in a 1 year, and some people can have one thing happen. Everyone's life is different. There's no one size fits all. So this year is about doing whatever you can do to create this new beginning for yourself. And but each year, you know, we have this number for the whole year, but each month we have a different month number with that year. And that's called our personal month number. So for you guys in a 1 personal year this year, you are in, and if you want more information about that 1 year, then go back to my YouTube channel, find the forecast video for 2022. And you will find a whole bunch of information about your 1 year there, a very long recording for you of your year, for the whole year. But for October, this month of October, you're in a 1 year with a 2 month. All right, you're in a 2 month for October. And the 2 is asking you to slow and steady wins the race. So yes, you're in a new beginning for the year, but this 2 year is about consolidating everything that you've sort of started up or put into action. Now it's time to fine tune everything, put everything in its place, line everything up. You've planted the seed. The seed is starting to grow. Now it's time to water and nurture that seed so that it can really start to take shape. This month gives you a little taster of what next year will be like, because the month that you're in, and in your case, a 2 month for October, you're going to be in a 2 year from January on, all of next year. So this month will give you a bit of insight and a bit of taste of what that might feel like. This is a month where you are to build upon what you already have. So if there's new things you've created, really cement them in so that you can stabilize them. This is a month to be slow and patient and not force things to happen. If you force things to happen with your will and you are not trusting in divine timing and the universe's divine order and timing of events, you are so gung-ho and determined to have your own agenda, and you push and try to force things to happen, they probably will not work in your favor, because this vibration is asking you to let go and let God, to trust, to have faith in the divine order, and to know that things will work out in their own divine timing, and that's not your timing. So it's about trust. It's about intuition. The number 2 governs the moon. It's the divine feminine energy, the receptive energy. It's about going within, using your intuition, finding balance within yourself, balance between intuition and logic, balance between giving and receiving. Okay, it's a great month for you to work on your personal development. Some people may have emotional things happen or come up that will highlight the emotional aspect of your personality. Some people it's an actual situation. Other people might simply not really have anything happen, but might feel a bit more emotional. And that heightened emotion is really good, because that's what the 2's job is. It's to bring emotions to the surface, first of all, by highlighting them, amplifying them so that they're obvious, so that they can be acknowledged. Why do I feel this way? Where does it come from? And you follow the trail. You go down the rabbit hole of those emotions. Where are they coming from? What do I have to heal? What do I need to resolve? What do I need to understand consciously so that I can fully integrate and release that energy? Because emotions, energy and motion, that's what emotions are. And they need to be expressed, acknowledged, understood, embraced, expressed and released. And that's what the 2 month can do. It's also a time where you might want to connect on an emotional level with people, get deep and meaningful. It's also a month where you might have relationship issues surface that have been brewing beneath the surface, may rise to be looked at. They may come up and you can't hide them or sweep them under the carpet anymore. And this is a good thing, because that's how change is created, by facing things head on and acknowledging them and working with them. It's a great time to focus on your health and well-being. It's a great month to take up mindfulness, meditation, yoga, those kinds of slow and energy-based practices that help to raise your vibration and help you to feel healthy and more mentally stable and emotionally stable. This is a great time to work on your self-love, your self-worth, your relationship with yourself. It's a great time to get a journal out, start journaling all these amazing things about yourself, and it doesn't matter how big or small they are. It's about you putting time aside to love you, to acknowledge the good that you do in the world, to acknowledge what is right about you. Not focusing on what's wrong, not dwelling on what you could have done, you should have done, that you didn't do, or the mistakes you've made. It's about focusing on the good side of you, what you like about yourself, and amplifying that, because we attract what we focus our attention on. So if we focus most of our attention on what we like about ourselves, what's good about ourselves, what's good about our life, we will attract more of that. And the opposite is true too. If you're dwelling on what's wrong, if you're dwelling on what you don't like about yourself, if you're dwelling on what isn't good enough in your life, you will attract more of that. All right. Great month to be improving existing relationships with others, to realize that you might be hypersensitive and to not take criticism too personally, to know that you might be hypersensitive and to know that you might overreact. It's quite normal in a 2 vibration. It is a cycle where sometimes people can get more emotionally connected to others. So it can be a time where people can meet somebody And it can be a time that gives you opportunity to improve existing relationships, to be more understanding, to see things from another person's point of view, and to work as like a mediator, to find peace and harmony on both sides of the fence, not just yours. All right? So I'll leave that with you, and I'll move on now to personal year number 2. So you guys are in a 2-year, and this year has been sort of heightened emotions, and slow and steady wins the race, and it can be a really good year for some people. You can achieve a lot. You can do a lot of personal development. You can get closer to people. Other people, it can be, feeling those emotions, letting them come to the surface, acknowledging what they are, working out where they come from, following that thread of where does this emotion, where do these thoughts and feelings come from, and going down the rabbit hole to find the where they stemmed from, so that you can acknowledge that. You can acknowledge those situations and those experiences and give them the honor and the attention they deserve while resolving them, while healing them, while releasing them. Great time to improve existing relationships. Relationship issues may come to the surface to be addressed and improved. Figured out. You guys are in a 3-month, and that means it's time for you to do more of what makes you feel good. So the 3 is about joy and fun and laughter. It means that it's time for you to maybe put yourself out there, to be a little bit more social if you haven't been lately. It's about you being able to train yourself to see the glass half full. So it's about you adopting a more optimistic mindset, getting yourself to a place where you choose to believe that things will work out more than you choose to believe that they won't. Because we attract what we believe, and it's about encouraging yourself to believe in the good in the world, to see opportunities, to have the courage to believe that there is a light at the end of the tunnel if you're going through a challenge. It is a month for you to deliberately, regardless of how busy you are, to try to make time for fun, whether it's something joyful, whether it's listening to music you like, finding an old record or an album that you used to have when you were younger that you absolutely loved, and finding it on YouTube or iTunes and playing those old songs from your past when there were happy times to raise your vibration, to feel good. Whether it's, I love baking, I'm going to do some baking, I'm going to get into cooking again, I'm going to cook some Mexican food, I'm going to learn some new recipes, or I'm going to get stuck in the garden, or I'm going to catch up with that friend of mine that always has me in fits of laughter, or I'm going to watch reruns of some of those favorite Seinfeld comedies, or watch some comedy movies on Netflix. Like, it's literally about you making time to go out of your way to do things that lift your spirits, because that's what the 3 is designed to do. Is first of all, it may highlight what is making us unhappy so we can be aware of what those things are and take steps towards improving them. But it's also about going out of our way to create more joy in our life. Why? Because happiness and joy are some of the most highest vibrations a human being can experience. Gratitude is one of the most powerful ways to access those high vibration emotions. This month is also asking you to connect with people more, to be more social, to involve yourself, to put yourself out there, to be heard, to have your say, to express yourself. And if there's anything creative or artistic that you enjoy doing, do more of that. On paper, in the material physical world, it may be a waste of time doing things like that. But in the energetic spirit world that we are a part of, that is more physical than the physical world, it's a game changer. This will change your life with this attitude. This kind of joy and happiness raises your vibration through the roof, which in turn influences your physical material world anyway. So it's not a waste of time at all. So I'll leave that with you, and I'll move on now to personal year number 3. You guys are in a year where you're encouraged to be more social, to get out and about, to express yourself, to speak your truth, to not be afraid to say what you really think and feel, to not be afraid to be who you really are. It's about you, first of all, figuring out what makes you unhappy or what needs to be improved or what would make you happier in your life, and taking steps towards making those things happen. But first and foremost, it's about you deliberately involving yourself in more activities that create fun and joy for you. It's about you deliberately doing more things that make you feel good. And whether those things are music, listen to music that you love that makes you feel so happy and joyful, whether it's an artistic or creative pursuit that makes you feel really good, whether it's a hobby you've got that makes you feel good, whether it's people that you enjoy being around, whether it's animals, watching funny movies or reading books, whatever it is that makes you feel good, do more of that this year. Now, this month of October is a full month for you, and that is asking you to do the work. So this month it's asking you to put effort in to do whatever it is that you need to do for yourself and or your life or your health or your mental well-being or your emotional well-being or your actual physical financial life or material world, to do whatever you need to do to get yourself and your life where you want it to be. So, for example, if you wanted to increase your finances, you would need to physically start saving. You would need to start visualizing yourself having more abundance in your life. You would need to start monitoring your negative thoughts about having no money and always being broke and I hate those rich bastards out there, it's not fair. Getting on top of all those stupid thoughts, because they are just holding you back and manifesting more poverty in your world than they are in bringing money to you. So, it's where you do the work. If you wanted to have more money, start doing things that can earn more money. If you wanted to grow your business, then you would get off your butt and you would go out there and find ways to grow your business. If you wanted to improve your health, then you would physically actually go and improve your exercise, cut down on bad eating habits or stop drinking or whatever it is that you need to do to improve your health. So this month is saying do the work, do what needs to be done to get yourself and your life where it needs to be. This month is a slow and steady wins the race energy. It is not a overnight land on your lap, don't have to do a thing to get what you want number. It's not that. It means put the effort in, cross your T's, dot your I's, take a step-by-step process, come up with a plan, and put the action in. Be proactive to do what you need to do, but at the same time not forcing things to happen. Know that you have the fortitude, the determination, and the persistence, and the dedication and commitment to follow through with your goals, that you're not just going to run away at the first sign of trouble or delays. All right, I'll leave that with you, and I wish you the very best. Now we're moving on to personal year number 4. You guys are in a year where it's pretty much, doing what needs to be done to get yourself and your life where it needs to be. You're in this 4 year and it's about building a solid foundation with effort. It might be emotional effort that's needed for some of you to get stronger emotionally so that you can make something of yourself. You can improve your health. You can improve your life circumstances by putting your feelings of victim mentality or your inability to forgive or your hypersensitivity or your insecurities and fears in your back pocket, so that you can get stronger emotionally and more confident in yourself to get yourself and your life where you're meant to be. Other people, it might be financially, extra effort to save your money. The economy is pretty dodgy, but you need to believe that you can be okay. Extra effort in your visualization, extra effort in your affirmations, extra effort in your mental discipline, focusing on what you would rather have or what you want things to be rather than what you don't want them to be. But the 4 year is really about effort. What you put in, you get out. Now, you guys are in a 5 month for October, and that is progress, movement, and change. So this month is a time of change. So if there are changes that need to be made in your life, make them. Be proactive and be in the driver's seat and be in charge and get out there and make those necessary changes. If there are changes that need to be made in your life and those serious changes and you're not making them, life may force those changes upon you in life's timing, not yours, and therefore you're on the back foot. So if there are changes need to be made, don't procrastinate, don't be lazy. Take action, and things might go in your favor by being more proactive instead of reactive. This is a month where it's a great time to travel, to do some new things, to have some adventure in your life, to create a bit more of a feeling of freedom, whether that freedom comes from freedom free from the shackles of your own insecurities and fears, freedom from the challenging aspects of yourself and the negative self-talk where you beat yourself up all the time, free from worry, free from fear. Dare to believe that life can be good. Dare to believe that things will all work out. Dare to believe that you've got the strength and the ability to make it through anything that comes your way. Great energy for moving, a great energy for making changes. Be aware if you get itchy feet and you feel like doing something a little bit shady, like, I feel like having an affair, I feel like gambling on this thing and taking a major risk. Just make sure that anything you do, you've thought well through, that you take calculated risks, that you're responsible and you do the right thing, that you're honest, because it is a vibration where if you're a bit dodgy and a bit shady, that it might not be cool. So just be aware of that. Make sure that karmically your actions and motivations are pure and in harmony and from the light and a high vibration. Progress, movement and change. Do some new things. Get out there and have a bit of adventure in your life and be flexible and adaptable because you just don't know what's around the corner. I'll leave that with you and I'll move on now to personal year number 5. You guys are in a year where progress, movement and change. Anything can happen and it usually does. It's about, a lot of things happening. You don't know what's around the corner, but that's okay. That can be exciting. It's where you are sort of, being prepared for anything can happen and it usually does. So you don't have your plans too set in stone. Be adaptable and flexible. So no matter what comes up, you can roll with the punches. This can be a very exciting year. It's a great year to have fun and be adventurous, to create more personal freedom in your life, to try some new things, to make a move, to make a change. If you're going to take any risks, make them calculated risks, etc. It can be a very dynamic, but also a challenging year for some. This month, though, for October, you're in a 6 month, and that is a taste of next year and what next year's energy will bring for you. This means it's a time to focus on where you can be of service and assistance to the people around you. Maybe first and foremost, your relationships, your family, your children, your friends, your work colleagues, your community. Have the mindset of where can I be of service? And if you are required and needed, to be able to say, hey, this is where I'm meant to be. This is what I'm meant to do. Everything else will take care of itself. And just know that you have to do the right thing. If you are called to be of service, to do that selflessly, to do that with the mindset of, yep, this is where I'm meant to be and I will do it and everything else will work itself out and it will take care of everything. Because it is a time of responsibilities, families, love, go and do what you need to do where you're needed. So it can be a time where relationship issues that are brewing beneath the surface or even unexpected issues may surface in relationships. Gives you the chance to sort of hash things out, to iron things out, to improve the relationship. It can be a great time to work on the home, the garden, the family and domestic responsibilities. It can be a time where you needed to be that shoulder to cry on. It can be a great time, to change, to get a makeover. Something physical to do with your own health and your well-being. A great month to focus on your family, spend more time with your kids, engage in a community project, be creative, take up a hobby, renovate, redecorate your home, focus on domestic affairs. All right? So I'll leave that with you and I'll move on now to personal year number 6. And you guys are in a year of, being there to be that shoulder to cry on, being there to be of service to family, friends, your relationship, your children, your neighbours, your family, your friends, your work colleagues, your community. Relationship issues can brew beneath the surface to be resolved. And it's about making those things a priority. The home, and the relationships and your friendships, being that shoulder to cry on. Great year for you to be working on your own health and well-being as well. So with the year 6 that you're in, it is a number of love, and it's about learning to see that only love is real and learning to focus on the love and the light in other people as opposed to the lack of that, focusing on what's good and what's right. You're in a 7 month for October, and that's where you're being encouraged to really focus inward, to look, spend some quiet time alone, to be in contemplation, to work on your personal development, to reconnect if you haven't connected lately, but reconnect with your spiritual side. If you've never done that before, to start doing that now. If you already have doing it, but it's about amplifying that connection. The 7 month that you're in the 6th year is about solidifying your relationship to source energy. And it's allowing that space, that quiet time, that space in your life where you will do that, rather than thinking it's irrelevant, rather than thinking it's nothing, it's not as important as all these other things in your material, physical world, when it actually is the most important thing, but you just don't get it yet. Let yourself get it. That the spiritual side is the wind beneath your wings. You're only operating on a 4-cylinder engine. You're only operating on 4 cylinders in a V8 engine when you don't have your connection to source energy to help you over that line. This catapults your ability to overcome challenges. It puts you in synchronicity in the right place at the right time. The intuitive guidance is off the charts when you're in alignment with source energy. You are shown the right place to be at the right time. Start by meditating. Get to, prayer. Prayer is not religious. Prayer is simply communicating with source energy and acknowledging it in your life, having a relationship with it. This has nothing to do with religion, and it doesn't matter about the label or the name that you call source energy. It's the fact that you're acknowledging it exists and you're making it a bigger part of your life. So this is a great month to go on a spiritual retreat, read some spiritual mind, body, spirit work, get closer to God, improve your health, spend time in nature, spend quiet time alone. It's only in the quiet alone time that you can really hear the voice of the soul. You can really hear that intuitive guidance when you are silent, when you're not distracted. All right, so I'll leave that with you, and I'll move on now to personal year number 7. You guys are in a year where you are, this year is basically saying the improvements that you make on the inside are going to pay off in the outside material, physical world for you next year. So this year is really important. It's about you focusing on your self-improvement and your personal development, tweaking and improving those parts of your personality that you know are letting you down, whether it's inferiority complex or self-criticism, or whether it's the inability to forgive a situation, a person, or a childhood or an experience or a person, and you can't move from it, you can't move through it, and that's holding you back and lowering your vibration. So you're the one that's suffering, nobody else. And the 7 is saying rise above, go within, meditate, adopt some spiritual practices, learn EFT tapping, focus on some alternative healing modalities if you want to try and be a healthier person. Spend quiet time alone, be in nature, get in touch with your soul. This is what the 7 year is asking you to do. Great year for studying. Great year for just reading and learning and curling up with a good book, especially one that fills your body, mind, and soul, and improving your health. So I'll leave that with you. No, I've got to move on to, that's your 7 year, but you are in an 8 month for October. So forgive me. You are in an 8 month for October because you're in a 7 year and October is a 1. So we add the 1 to the 7 and that's how we get your 8 month for October. And the 8 is about manifestation and the law of attraction. It's about you really understanding that relationship. It's about you learning about those universal laws and how to manifest. It's about you understanding that your thoughts are alive, that your emotions, energy and motion, everything is energy, and energy manifests and creates material things. It creates people, situations, circumstances, opportunities. And it's about you understanding that. Now, a wonderful book you can read to be able to do that and learn that is Sandra Ann Taylor, Quantum Success, one of my favorite books. You can get Abraham Hicks, Law of Attraction. You can go onto YouTube and watch some Abraham Hicks videos. Another wonderful book that's very difficult to get hold of in New Zealand, but I think it's on Trade Me, is called Frequency. By a lady called, Penny Pierce, I think so. But that's an amazing book as well. I'm reading that at the moment and it's brilliant. The 8 is also about you reclaiming your personal power, not allowing yourself to be disempowered by anyone or anything like a limiting belief or a fear. It's also about you, career, job. There may be opportunities or changes at work. There may be opportunities. Some people may want to change jobs. Some people might, it might be about finances and about, you can lose money and gain money in an 8 vibration. And it's about knowing money comes, money goes, I always end up on top. So the affirmation, the world is abundant, I am abundant, money comes, money goes, I always end up on top. Saving and not overspending. and looking at ways that you can attract more abundance in your life, because abundance isn't just money, it's opportunities, it's a mindset, it's happiness, it's joy, it's love. It's not just monetary. So I'll leave that with you, and I'll move on now to personal year number 8. You guys are in a year where, you really are learning about the universal law of attraction. Well, I hope some of you are, because if you are and you're implementing it in your life and you're being disciplined with that, you will see some massive improvements in your life circumstances and in your health and in your well-being and in your own self, because the 8 is the law of attraction vibration. It's karmic. It's what you put out, what you get back. It's the law of cause and effect. And it is a year where some people can reap what they've sown, good and bad. So if you want to reap some good stuff, you need to put some attention onto what it is that you want, but at the same time being detached, to not be desperate, to know that you can be happy and find ways to find peace in where you are now. It's about making peace with where you are right now, even though it might not be where you want to be. It's about focusing on what's good in your life, what you've got to already be grateful before you even ask for more, these sorts of things. It can mean a focus on career, and it can mean, money issues. Don't overspend. Money comes, money goes. Career changes, legal matters might rise to be sorted out this year for some, not all, but for some. You guys are in a 9-month for October, because we're in an 8 year and October is a 1. So we have the 8 and the 1 for October, and that gives you a 9 personal month, which is about endings, out with the old to make way for the new. So be on the lookout in your own life, and see what you need to let go of that you've grown out of, that's not healthy for you, that you don't need anymore. Take the training wheels off. Dare to believe that you can make it on your own, whether that's a codependent relationship or codependent financial situation, to not prostitute yourself out or betray who you really are, what you really want to get money or to get something from someone else in a manipulative way. Some people are in that situation. It's time to grow out of those sorts of situations. To transform from your lower self into your higher self, to start sort of stepping up to the plate and putting your big girl, big boy pants on, and believing that you can rise to, you can be a better person, you can create a better life. There's no more wasting time with this victim mentality and believing that there's, don't play small. There's a lot of good things out there for you, and it's time to claim them. Time to believe that it's possible and leave behind what you don't need moving forward. And that could be a negative attitude. It could be many different things, but it's about moving and transforming from the lower to the higher self and being the best that you can be. And let go, accept, let go, move on. Don't hold on to what you need to let go of. No procrastinating and no holding on because it's better the devil you know. It's like let go and have faith that you will be okay. So I'll leave that with you, and I'll move on now to personal year number 9. You guys are in a year of out with the old to make way for the new. This is the final year and the final quarter of the final year of a 9-year cycle. You are coming into a whole new beginning. A whole new beginning you are. And these are, we're just fine-tuning the end of this year. So what are the parts of yourself that you really need to step up and reclaim and claim responsibility for? Do you need to be more positive and more confident? Do you need to start letting the past go? Let the past be the past. Leave it in the past. Don't take it with you moving forward. What do you need to forgive? Who do you need to forgive? Do you need to forgive yourself? Do you need to let things go? Do you need to let bygones be bygones? Do you need to let the universe take care of whatever issues you feel that, payback for things that were right the wrongs? Let the universe take care of that. It's not up to you to be revengeful. That's just lowering your own vibration and taking you out of alignment. The universe keeps score. Don't you worry. There is such a thing as that, and it will take care of itself. Mind your own business and get out of the way. So let go of what no longer serves you. Move forward into new beginnings and opportunities. Do the work that needs to be done. Some people will actually have some losses. It could be loss of home, loss of job, loss of relationship. But it doesn't have to be a bad thing. For a lot of people, that's a good thing. And then you have people that don't have any losses at all. They just move into a higher frequency as they move out of that 9 and into that 1-year beginning that we're moving into. And October for you is a 1 month. It's a 9-year for you, but October is a 1 month. So that means we're getting a taste this month of what's to come next year. where there are opportunities for you. It is time for you to start looking ahead at what you want to create, where you want to be, what you want to do, what improvements do you need to make within your mindset, within your own lifestyle, within your own life circumstances, or your health, or your well-being, or your mental health. What do you need to do to get yourself ready for this whole new beginning that you're moving into, this new and improved you? Great month for you to take action, to do some things, some people even like go out there and start planning a new business idea or a new hobby, or start a new relationship, or start a new, program. It's about taking advantage of this month and actually starting to see the vision coming together, and writing a plan and getting clear about where you want to go and what you want to do, and then start taking the steps towards actually making that happen, to be proactive, positive, optimistic. All right, so I'll leave that with you, and I wish you the very best, and I will be back for your forecast on the 1st of November. Have an amazing October, everybody. Love and light, love and blessings, Michelle.